What's up guys, I'm here today to show you my unique Frenzy Barbarian build guide. I've not seen too many people use this build, especially the weapon that I use to make this work, so check it out. So what's up guys, here's the build. Get quite into it. I've noticed a lot of people when they play this character, they tend to try and go over the berserk route, but I found that a bit troublesome. You could be amongst multiple characters like enemies, and they could just have one guy who's like got physical immune. You don't really realize it till it's too late, and then you end up getting killed somehow or something like that. So I was like, right, I've had enough of that. I've had enough of basically thinking, because I like going on autopilot with a barbarian and just let him do the work. He's basically a gold finder or ruin hunter for me. I mean, you do things like Chaos Sentry or the pits or something along those lines, or obviously council runs. You don't have to keep thinking about, okay, is this guy got physical immune? You don't have to worry about any of that. You'll see. So we'll get straight to the build. He's level 85. His name's Iron Napper. It's a bit of a Dragon Ball reference, but I don't know, it's a bit of a weird one. Anyway, so just enough strength to wear your gear, and same with Dex. I didn't really bother with Dex because I've got the offensive merc. I decided to go that route. I mean, I've still got extra points I can add to other parts of the bows and stuff to increase them, but because of this build, you don't really need too much bows. I mean, there's a set percentage there. I could go max bows, but then I'd lose out on damage and stuff. So it's kind of this balance of, do I go for extra damage or do I go for extra health? In fact, I've got potions there as well if I did need. Means that I don't really need to stack too much into mana and health and all that for the bows. So obviously the rest is the vitality, but I didn't really bother too much with dexterity, just enough to wear my gear really. I still could, I think I could restat this as well, and get it boost, but look at the skills. So 20 points into, so max out double swing, max out frenzy. Didn't bother going the berserk route because you'll see why. This is pure frenzy build. You'll have double swing as a secondary because it does actually attack faster if you tap the button. But if you want to go on autopilot, you just hold down the frenzy button on the right click. I'll show you what I mean by that little tactic. You'd be surprised how many people don't really know about the autopilot on this. But yeah, back to the skills. Sorry, war cries. Like I said, I could max battle orders and get max health and mana and stamina, but I mean, it starts getting diminishing returns. It's definitely useful, but I'd rather that extra damage personally. Obviously battle command is only duration there, and defense, I mean, it is what it is. You can choose that if you want, but personally, I don't see the point. I'm killing them far too quick for them to be able to even. There's only a few enemies that could really give you a problem. That's like Uber, Mephisto, or the dolls in Endurance of Hate. They can be a bit of a problem when you destroy them. They have that pierce attack, and oh my god, like I've had so many issues where you can get almost one hit by killing them and stuff like that. But I think that's just the same with any character. They're a bit of a broken enemy. These are basically 1 point wonders. Don't really need to add any more. There's just diminishing returns beyond there. But a max, well, I don't think that's actually fully maxed. I've still got extra points left to put in. But max that axe mastery, and then probably the rest of the points will go into battle orders or something along those lines. Shout, it is what it is. Defense is a weird one with defense, even though defense is important for barbarians, and the fact that it's a frenzy barbarian, I don't actually have like a shield or it doesn't seem to be very important. But okay, so on to the actual gear now. So I've got the e-bodied the Berserker Axe, ethereal. Yeah, it's a pretty nice weapon. It does a lot of damage. It's basically the main damage dealer. But you're thinking, well, how am I bypassing those physical immunes and stuff like that? We'll get to that. You got Ariat's Face, you know, for the extra skills, the extra attack rating, hit recovery. It's, you know, it's the perfect barbarian helmet. I can't really. I mean, I guess, you know, you could use a Gulliam's Face or something like that, but I always prefer the Ariat's. It's just, it has all the things that you need. Armor, I went for Fortitude. You know, there's a few ones you could go for here. You could go for Chains of Honor, or you could go for Enigma, or the Duress. I guess, you know, Duress does have a huge defense, but, or Stone is another one potentially, but I mean, Fort or Enigma or Chains of Honor would probably be the way to go. It depends on what you want to do with it. I mean, I know a lot of people like Enigma because obviously the teleport and the magic find and the less strength requirements. But it is what it is. I like the extra damage personally. So onto the belt. You got Verdongos. There's a few you can go for. I don't really have. I've been sharing out a lot of my gear with other characters, but you know, you can go for the String of Ears as well. They both have the damage reduction. In fact, the String of Ears definitely has the better damage reduction, but that faster hit recovery is very helpful. I have more than enough life stolen per hit, so it's not really that important. I could increase it. You know, the life and everything as well is pretty decent. So it literally is entirely down to you which one you go for with these two. It makes no difference. I mean, do you want to be hit less, or do you want to, you know, recover quick? It is what it is. For gloves, personally, I can't think of anything else better. You know, I see people saying to go for steel rends for the crushing blow, or, you know, the soul drainers for the dual leech. You got the Drax as well, which, you know, they have the life tap and the life stolen per hit, but like I said, I've already got the life steal. If I was doing Ubers, yeah, I'd probably wear the Drax just for the life tap and stuff like that, but then I could still use a wand if I really wanted to as well. Whereas these, that 350% damage to demons, the fire to 50 to fire res, and the 20 to increase attack speed, you can't really do much better than it. For set gloves, I find that they're probably far too powerful when they are, but I mean, hey, can't knock them. The boots, Gore Riders, I mean, I guess you could go Goblin Toes, like up Goblin Toes. War Travs is another one. I guess you go Marowaks if you really want the life tap charges or something like that. You know, that could be kind of useful. With the belt as well, you can go for the Nosferatus for increased attack speed as well. But I mean, personally, I like the damage reduced and the hit. You know, the faster hit recovery. It's quite helpful because, you know, if you do get hit, you can get caught out sometimes if you're surrounded by players. It's a personal choice though. For the amulet, I got the metal grid. You definitely could go for the High Lord's Wrath for the increased attack speed and deadly strike option, or the Maras, I guess, for the extra stats, but and the resistances. But I'm, as you saw, I'm max on res. I needed attack rating. Metal Grid gives you a decent amount of attack rating and gives you res as well, and I probably could have some more attack rating, but it's not that important with Frenzy. You can gain a lot of speed with Frenzy anyway. Got one BK ring for the skills and the life storm per hit, and the life and the stamina. You know, like, stamina's not really an issue, but and then the Raven Frost for cannot be frozen and extra mana and dex and cold hits, and you know, it's just all around decent. I don't think there's many builds out there that don't really require a Raven Frost. It's just, for at least for a melee build, you know, it's just a brilliant ring. It just has everything you need. And then the thing that makes this whole build work, like, to be honest, you know, that obviously that's an amazing weapon. That's that's the amazing armor and stuff like that. But you know, they do the job. But the thing that really makes this different from any other build is this, the Lacerator. 33% chance to cast level 3 amplified damage on striking. I'm sure a lot of you know, but I'm sure there's some people out there who won't know this, but amplified damage will remove physical immunes off enemies, depending on how much physical resistance they do have. It is, I'm guessing it is technically possible to not be able to remove it, but it's so rare that you'll find an enemy that you can't remove the physical resistance off, or physical immunity off, that it's just brilliant. You know, you just keep using the frenzy and you'll eventually proc that amplified damage, and you know, then this Breath of Dying basically does the rest of the work. You know, obviously you'd be doing increased damage as well, the amplified damage as well. So I mean, it has not bad stats. It's not the greatest. It's more of a throwing weapon. Just purely for that amplified damage is the reason why I'm using it. And it basically makes this build that much better, in my opinion. You don't have to rely on Berserk and other methods to try and get around it. It's pretty quick at just dealing the damage, you know. Pretty quick at proccing as well. 33%. You just think like every 3 hits you're pretty much going to proc it if you don't kill him before then. So... and he kills so quick anyway. It's like, it's only the enemies that is really, you know, stone skin or something along those lines, or the, you know, the physical immunes will actually, it'll proc on anyway. So unless it's just a lucky first hit on some of them. But yeah, obviously you want to torch an Annie. My Annie, I think I put it on another character I was like using or something. I can't really remember. I have a couple of Annies around on different accounts and stuff. But yeah, not the greatest barb torch, but it is what it is. It's not really important for this. I just threw them on there. I literally found this earlier on. 20 lifer, that's alright, not too bad. But yeah, the rest are pretty garbage. Nothing too spectacular. Yeah, like I said, with the gloves you could use Drax or the belt. There's a few different options for different things. You know, you want vitality or attack rating, life, plus minimum damage to the 2023's charms. If you did want to max it out and get the best out of them, you possibly can. The fine small charms, you know, vitality. You know, you could add combat charms as well, but personally, apart from attack rating, maybe, like, that's the only thing I increase on this account, this character. He's just a bit too, look what I'm doing. You think, okay, 6,158 damage, it's not the greatest. You know, you think, oh, well, my Whirlwind Barb does much more than that, and yeah, it probably does, but, like, for a Frenzy Barb, I'd say that's pretty decent. When it starts getting amped up and everything, and it gets the amplified damage procced, and then all the extra abilities like the Poison Nova and the Firestorm, and like there's all these other things proccing all at the same time. It's good AoE as well on top of it. So we'll do a little chaos run, I guess. I mean, I've been in 8-player lobbies and just terrorized enemies in this place, so it's not just single player it works on, it does work on as many players as you want, you know. Obviously you could stack it a little bit better. Oh, that's one thing I forgot to show as well. It's on Switch. I got 2 Spirit Swords. You could put 2 Hotos or Barb Sticks in there. Like I said, the bows, in my opinion, aren't really that important. I mean, they do a good job to you, but 3,000 life, I mean, if I'm dying with 3,000 life, then there's something up there really with my build, rather than actually how much life I have. And my Merc, that's the last thing. I haven't, you know, it's not the greatest stuff. Reaper's Toll, I mean, I'd preferably want an F Reaper's there. And then Crown of Thieves, I mean, it does some good stuff for him, you know, life stolen, dex, life, fire resist. Yeah, I definitely put something better there, like a William's face or something along those lines, maybe. I don't know. And then the Duriel shell. Yeah, it's alright. It's got the cannot be frozen and the res and stuff like that. The extra life, defense. It's not bad. I could definitely have a better armor. It is what it is. I literally rely on this guy for the attack rating, and it's not even that important then. So one thing I don't know many people, I'm not sure a lot of people do know about this, but like here's the thing with barbarians that you might not know is if you have the right click, and this works with pretty much any skill with any character, that right click attacks, if it's a normal attack that is, like a physical attack, if you hold it down without actually clicking on an enemy, like here, like, so I'm moving around using the right click. Now if I move it into the character, he'll automatically attack, and the only time he'll stop now is if he gets interrupted by an attack. But that's, you know, that's a rarity, you know. So that's what I was on about the autopilot, in case you didn't quite understand what I meant when I was talking about that. But I mean, he is so fast at just clearing out enemies, for a barbarian at least. It's just, you know, you do Baal runs with this, Baal rather. I always used to say Baal. I guess, you know, it's how it's spelt, I guess, but it is Baal. Yeah, Baal runs would be fine. You know, you could definitely do Ubers with this. I'd probably stat it a little bit more, get it a little higher level up and stuff. You know, I'd probably add some more to what's it called? You know, my bows and stuff like that, and also probably put a infinity on my merc just to help with the resistances. I don't even know. There's so many routes you can go with them, with the merc. I mean, my old build, because this is kind of a new version of this character. My original one was on West Coast, but obviously like 2 years ago, West Coast took a bit of a dive with players, and yeah, and I ended up switching over to East Coast, and I lost, you know, obviously then I ended up one of the main reasons why is I ended up doing that is obviously the population, but two, some of my accounts expired, and I lost a bunch of stuff. So I was like, okay, well, I guess what better time than now? Oh, there's a lacquer plate there, I'll definitely check that out. Whatever better time than now to check that out. And yeah, so I ended up making the switch, and then it obviously took me a while. I think that boss plate was better than that shit. Anyway, it took me a while to get this gear up, trading and friends and stuff. You know, giving me some of the items and stuff that I needed. But I eventually got there. But it's not as quite as strong build as the one I made in West Coast. So one thing I can't wait for Resurrection is that once you start making your accounts, you'll probably never lose them. There's not going to be any expiring or anything like that. And also, you know, everyone's all going to be on the same server, which is fucking brilliant. Finally, the whole Diablo community is going to be together rather than separated into different categories. It's mad that they never combined them all together in the, like. They probably should have just got rid of some of the servers, but I guess latency is an issue. I mean, I play on East Coast, and obviously I'm in the UK, but that's mainly because, at least back in the day, a lot less people really used to speak English in on Europe servers. They all used to speak either German or whatever the language they spoke. So there's a lot more different languages in Europe than there is in, say, the US and stuff. So being an English speaker myself, I always found that playing on the US servers is probably the better route to go, just because everyone spoke English on there. But yeah, that's gonna be one great thing about Resurrection. As you can see with this character, man, it just like I'm thinking about other things whilst doing this. I'm not really having to worry at all. I'm literally just holding the right click down and just moving it around. Complete thoughtless process behind it. Sometimes you get interrupted and you just have to tap it again, but apart from that, it's just like, just go to town on them. There's no, oh shit, I might end up dying there or something. There's none of that. The only times this happened to me is Endurance of Hate against those dolls. They can be a little tricky. I mean, that's why you just always have some potions or rejuves. Okay, I think that guy, what has he got? Stone Skin, Fire Enchant, extra fast. I mean, okay, there's no physical immune there, but I'm hoping I'll come across a physical immune, but it's no guarantee. It'd be nice to show you what I meant about using it. Maybe I've already even done it without even realizing. It's hard to say, because if I just randomly just run up to the guy and the first hit I do on the physical immune guy is the proc of, ooh, the hell did, oh, I think he's done. Okay, so he did Iron Maiden on me then, I think, and that's why I basically did damage to myself. I think that was what happened there anyway. That was a little scary actually, but but yeah, you know, I'm making enough health back, and there's not really much worries at all. You know, mana burn can be an issue as well, because obviously then you stop attacking and stuff. That's why sometimes it's best to keep tapping the button. But it all depends on the situation. The majority of the time you will just run through it like that. Like I'm holding the click button and just letting him do his thing. Always handy to pick up these topazes. I don't think taunt works against bosses. I don't think it does. I'll try it anyway. Nah, it doesn't. But you know, you see how quick I killed him there. Oh, what's this? Well, I can't remember what they're called. Inferno Stride. Yeah, they're kind of cool. The Blaze is always cool. Nice to get them early, you know. Nightmare Run or something like that. They're nice to get dropped, but I just thought I'd show you that, you know, it's a bit of a unique build, having that Lacerator, a bit of a beast. If you ever stumble across it, I know it's quite a rare, especially Ethereal. You know, this Ethereal's even harder to find as well, and you can have it, you know, Ethereal because obviously it has the replenished quantity. Yeah, I've been 4 shot anyway, and it's been my Frenzy Barbarian build. Like, favorite, subscribe, comment, leave a comment, and yeah, it'd mean the world to me. And I'll see you around. Peace.